Good day. My name is Diane Pruneau, and I'm a professor at Université de Moncton in Canada. Today, I will talk about the GIREPS Women Project that took place in Ourika, a region of Morocco. Now, many people are affected by floods, which is an impact of climate change. The victims must find and implement adaptations in order to protect themselves and their family. The question is, how do we accompany these people in the formulation of effective adaptations to climate change impacts? Usually, as you know, climate change-related problems are complex. Their structure and elements need to be defined accurately and in details. We also need to consider their location and the people that are affected by them. Created originally by IDEO and other organizations, design thinking proved to be a good creative problem-solving approach for working with groups who desperately look for solutions on big issues. As shown on this page, design thinking happens in 6 steps. During the observation-inspiration step, the solvers conduct an ethnographic survey to understand the user needs, such as the emotions and specific problems experimented by the people affected by the situation. During the second step, synthesis, the solvers try to define the problem in a few short sentences. Then, in the third step, ideation, they propose and select some solutions that they quickly prototype in order to assess their value. They experiment the prototypes and ask the users to give their opinion on them. The final step is the communication of the new product or of the new experience created during the design thinking process. Also, as you probably know, some ITC tools, technological tools, could be used for accompanying citizens during a problem-solving process. Tools like Facebook, Real-Time Board, Tinkercad, and Knowledge Forum are among these tools. When the solvers are at a distance, these ICT tools could help the participants in sharing opinions and information, proposing and commenting on ideas, choosing ideas, making prototypes, or communicating. The project that I want to talk about is the GIREPS Women Project in Morocco. In the Ourika region, these women were victims of floods and they were looking for solutions or adaptations. We accompanied these women in finding solutions to some of their problems related to floods of the Ourika River. To do so, we chose to use design thinking and a Facebook group. At first, the women were not very skilled in writing and not familiar with technologies. So, we initiated them to electronic tablets and we taught them how to use Facebook. During the 3 years project, we had 20 workshops with them, and between the workshops, we communicated together on the Facebook group. The research questions were: how did design thinking and Facebook help those women to define and solve their flood problems? And also, what did the participating women learn in the process? During the first step of design thinking, observation, inspiration, we interviewed the women individually and asked them to describe their flood experience. We then summarized their flood experience on a journey map on which we illustrated what was happening in their life before, during, and after a flood of the Ourika River. During a workshop, we asked them to identify the worst problem that they had during and after a flood. And we defined the most important problem with the form, how could we? The main problem was the contamination of the drinking water. In fact, during a flood, they could not drink tap water and they were obliged to drink the water from the river. Their children became sick when they drank this water. This is the journey map that tells this woman's story with floods. Then the work began on the Facebook group. Each time there was a flood, the women were asked to send us pictures, videos, and comments on what was happening in their own village. And every week, we asked them a different question about the waste problem. They answered the question as best as they could. They said that the drinking water supply pipes break with the floods. At this time, they drink the water from the river. They also said that their neighbors usually throw their waste into the river. We also tested the quality of the Eureka River with them. In the water, we found coliforms and bacteria. We also looked at their garbage with them. They had to take pictures of their garbage can and post the pictures on Facebook. The garbage can content revealed the presence of many plastic bottles. Then we went back to design thinking step 2 for redefining the problem. The new sentence was, how could we get rid of all this garbage? Then we asked them to think about solutions. The brainstorming and the assessment of ideas began during a workshop and continued on the Facebook group. Among the solutions, there were ideas such as educate people not to throw trash in the river, clean the water, reuse waste. During another workshop and later on Facebook, the women were invited to create and assess prototypes of handmade filters to clean the water from the wadi. They also made, experimented, and evaluated composting prototypes in order to reduce the amount of waste in their garbage can and in the river. They also made, experimented, and evaluated prototypes of jewelry made from plastic bottles. These jewelry prototypes were then sold during a conference, and the woman took pictures of the jewels that sold best. It was the trials step. Then, with our help, the women set up a cooperative to sell their compost and jewelry. After 2 years, we evaluated the evolution of the woman's definition of the problem of flooding and the sub-problem of water quality. We saw a major improvement. We also evaluated their solution with creativity criteria: fluidity, flexibility, originality, and applicability. The solutions proposed by women proved to be varied and realistic. After 3 years, we had individual interviews with the participating women. We asked them to draw and to talk about the changes that the GIREPS project made in their own life. We analyzed their answers with the environmental education objectives: awareness, knowledge, competencies, attitudes, and participation. They said that the project made them more aware of the impacts of floods and waste in their life. They said they have gained some new knowledge on technologies, environment, and the geography and cultures of their region. They improved some skills, such as problem solving and communication. Their attitudes also changed from unconfident and shy to perceived ability to improve their financial situation if working hard. Their participation in the adaptation movement was finally very good. They participated in different ways: operating an electronic alert system, making homemade filters, composting, making recycled jewelry, starting their cooperative. Our actual questions are: will the woman pursue the cooperative? Are their management skills and self-efficacy strong enough? Should the cooperative's products, plastic, jewelry, and compost, be re-evaluated? Sometimes the women argue that these products are not efficient for making a lot of money. So what do we do now? Our research led us to make new research projects in order to better understand which interventions and technological tools are best for accompanying groups during the collaborative process of finding solutions to environmental problems.